Hello friends. Although each astrologer has a different opinion about the date, this conjunction has been a very important milestone, so it only remains for me to say Happy New Year. Do not rush, because we have more than 2000 years ahead to develop the new humanity in all its splendor. Opinion article. Let the sun shine in. A new era begins. Aquarius will last 2160 years. The most contagious is freedom. Living free is in A, then in NA. Freedom is the foundation of America. The air element will bring innovation. It means revealing secrets. We live the last waltz of tyrants. The beast will consume itself. James Gilliland, famous contactee. They delay the intelligence report. John Ratcliffe could not meet the deadline. Do they delay you to avoid an appeal? The law of insurrection is not martial law. We are in the most dangerous phase of the game. What happens this week will change history. An executive order rescues saving bonds. Let's start. Let the sun shine in. That was the motto of the musical hair that revolutionized the world in the happy 60s for the new age of Aquarius, and it is still valid today. The winter solstice yesterday marked the dawn of a new era for humanity. The age of Aquarius is dawning, and these energies are acting as a direct carpet for the start of this new galactic day, which will bring much harmony and peace in the long run. The famous musical hair thus defined the age of Aquarius. In dots: harmony and understanding, sympathy and trust abound, no more falsehoods of teasing, golden living dreams of visions, mystical crystal reveal, and the true liberation of the mind. Aquarius, it goes without saying that when I say this musical in Madrid in the 60s, I was deeply moved. Hairs tells the story of the tribe, a group of political active long-haired hippies from the Aquarian age who lived in a bohemian life in New York City, fighting conscription for the Vietnam War. Songs like Good Morning Starshine and Aquarius reflect the cultural interest of the 60s in astrological and cosmic concepts. What is coming? While meditating, James Gilliland asked several questions concerning what is unfolding on Earth. He was told there are events coming, natural, social, and economic. The sun is going to become very active, eventually taking down the grid and most satellites. It is also creating changes in consciousness. Expects severe weather and increase in earthquake and volcanic activity. The Earth is expanding. Unfortunately, many of the satellites are not aligned with universal law and neither serve man or beast. The old power grid needs to be changed out in place of new technologies that are safer and not subject to empty pulses of solar flares. The communication grid also needs to be changed, using frequencies that are more healing than harmful. I asked concerning the elections, the extreme polarities and psychotic agendas being played out. I was told not to worry. The Creator wins. The universal law will press hard, and those who are not aligned with the universal law will fall. It is what some call the last waltz of tyrants. Your political puppets will not be successful. Now that they are scaring us with contagious, they have forgotten that the most contagious thing that exists is freedom. Freedom is the foundation of America, and it is in the DNA of the people. So, many people have come to America fleeing socialist dictators and the communism. They will not be fooled. The people will arise, and those doing the will of the people will be victorious. Freedom is contagious. It will be global. I know it looks bleak at time, as if the Dark Hats are winning, but they have some big surprises in the very near future. Very big surprises. Truth is a powerful weapon, and it's not on their side. Their empires are built on lies, deceptions, and hidden agendas, contrary to universal law. They believe they are untouchable. They are not. Their kingdoms will be dismantled. It is written in the prophecies, the beast has its train. It wants to dominate and consume everything. Just when you believe there is no hope and the beast has ravished the land, the beast consumes itself. Then comes the 1,000 years of peace and reunification with the star nations. The healing restoration energies and knowledge will surface and move across the land, resetting the earth to fulfill its original plan to be the joy of the galaxy. Universal peace, brothers, sisterly love, individual freedom and prosperity for all will be the guiding forces for humanity and the earth. However, knowing this doesn't relieve one of their personal responsibility. We all have to find out our unique soul purpose and play out our part. Creator has given its best. Powerful souls have incarnated for these times. They are being awakened, initiated, and reconnecting with their star families, advanced civilizations from which they incarnated. They come to Earth as part of a multi-dimensional plan to liberate humanity and restore Earth to her pristine beauty. The Earth is ascending, going through changes from the atom to more complex structures. Your DNA and the DNA of all life forms are changing. This is not always a fun ticket, as the body goes through multiple challenges and cleanses. Spiritual liberation. The age of Aquarius will last 2,160 years, so it will take several years for its influence to take effect and become obvious in world affairs. However, the main trigger for the emergence of this new era, the exact conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn at 0 degrees Aquarius, occurred on Monday, December 21, 2020. Previous cosmic eras were triggered by the same 0 degree conjunction of these powerful planets, each time creating a new phase of growth in human evolution. The above ages include the dawn of the age of Aquarius in 2330 before Christ, and the dawn of the age of Pisces in 126 after Christ. The new age of Aquarius is about peace, spiritual joy, harmony, humanity, equality, spiritual liberation, and the freedom to pursue God-given rights to life, liberty, and happiness. In recent decades, we have seen glimpses of the nature of the rising Aquarian age. Beginning in 1967, in the rock musical Hair, the title track proclaimed, "This is the dawn of the age of Aquarius," perhaps a little earlier. Collective awakening. Now, humanity has chosen to awaken collectively, and the first signs of that are clearly visible as an increasing number of you make contact on a physical or electronic level with other citizens who have chosen to awaken. Whenever there is a conjunction of planets, a new cycle begins and previous one ends, similar to when it's new moon, you are ending and beginning a cycle between the sun and the moon. However, in this case, we are not only beginning a new 20-year cycle, but the new era is also solidifying, in which we will have Jupiter-Saturn cycles almost exclusively in air signs for almost 200 years. The Jupiter and Saturn cycles represent the union of structures and beliefs that influence how society works, is built and systematized. However, it affects many aspects of society even beyond that description. The window of the last 200 years we have been in a period on Earth where there has been a more general focus on practically physical resources, routine, materialism, asset building, realism, regularity, and capitalism throughout society. The air period that has begun reflects more focus on innovation, ideas, intellect, mind, reason, information, certain types of freedom, and the social aspect of life. The internet, computing, and digital technology are closely connected with the air element. Compared to Earth, the air can also be more inconsistent, with changes that occur at faster speeds. According to the Pleiadian High Council of Seven, our next mission in this journey will be to create a new earthly experience for you and for future generations. And those experiences will not be about challenges. The next mission is about experiencing joy and unconditional love. They have come this far to feel what it's like to move from the depths of darkness to the heights of ecstasy. Now, when you decide to embark on the new mission, it's up to you. It is up to you how long you play with the rules of the third dimension, and when you fully embrace the perspective of the fifth dimension, the frequency of the fifth dimension, the experience of the reality of the fifth dimension. We know that many of you feel prepared, and we tell you that you are. It's all about opening your heart, letting it be your guide, and forgetting everything you think you have learned up to this point. Slowness. We are going throughout most channeling times, with just a little more time required and possibly a little more trial and tribulation to achieve the end of a result that this individual sovereignty for all. According to Blossom Godchild, we haven't moved on the big announcement yet. We have not changed the course of that. There have been delays, and as can happen in many situations, and certainly in matters of great credibility. However, we are convinced by the knowledge that the big announcement will occur. Many things that have left souls with questions will happen as they move into their new year. According to JFK, the reason of the alliance is moving so slowly, it seems to get the truth to the unawakened population, is because some of the acts that have been committed against us are so heinous and utterly evil that an awakened souls would not be able to hearing it, much less believing that it had actually happened. So the plan is slowly being enacted, with the less vicious facts being exposed first. Then slowly the most extreme acts will come to light, even if it is a small percentage of their true totality. As I say indirectly, this plan is very complex, meticulous, changeable, and terribly long in terms of completion. But when it is completed and the victory flight is achieved, it will be a glorious day indeed. No one knows the exact time except our Creator and a few high trusted sources, and they won't reveal it to anyone prior to launch. It will be in His time, which is the perfect time for us. This is a classified plan, and breadcrumbs are given, so to speak. Intelligence report. The operation is underway, but you must remain silent at this time. Perhaps we are at the most critical juncture in history. The President is fully aware of the seriousness of this period of time. We have been preparing since before 2015 for this exact moment. What happens this week will change history. We are in the most dangerous phase and the stakes cannot be higher. We ask you for now to stay home and not interfere with the operation under any circumstances. You will soon see things unfold that many would consider impossible. The president is isolated and 100% safe. Our plan is almost complete. The swamp has already lost. Everything you are seeing in the propaganda media is one last attempt. At the beginning, we asked you to prepare yourself. Your role is crucial and your task is to help the population deal with what is about to be revealed. Patriots who have been here from the beginning will understand and recognize this directive. Remember, it is all with darkest before sunrise. Don't believe the propaganda media for the next week. Not for a single minute give them any credibility. We have won legally, and what comes next is the best cleaning job in the history of the world. According to Manuel de Prada, the political case is infected with psychopaths, with a moral and affective life shattered, in many cases drug addicts, given in privacy to the most abhorrent passions. Summary. December 21st Situation Update by Mike Adams. First, once William Barr is gone on Thursday, you can't appoint Sidney Powell as special counsel. Second, the president can use the National Emergency Transmission System to communicate with the people and avoid the media's siege. Third, Dan Scavino tweets, Lincoln, Churchill, and American bald eagle. What these symbols mean? Fourth, why martial law equal fake news? Because the law of insurrection is not martial law, simply. Fifth, the insurrection law allows the president to use the army to seize key electoral evidence. Sixth, the Pence-Reichling maneuver leads to a victory of 232 electoral votes on January 6. Seventh, multiple Sidney Powell meetings at the White House. Eighth, illegal extensions in Pennsylvania could be a path to victory in all undecided states. Ninth, Michigan continues to participate in cover-ups to hide the evidence. 10th, Senator Cruz said it's time to prosecute everyone involved. 11th, Republican Matt Gaetz confirms that he will be challenged the vote of January 6th. Senator-elect Tuberville is also likely to join the coalition. Bond rescue. A president's executive order issued on December 18th promotes the rescue of saving bonds, which in principle has raised the hopes of many holders of Chinese and Zimbabwean bonds, and collectively so far. But the order already refers to saving bonds issued since 1935 by the Treasury Department to American public. It doesn't refer to bonds for other countries. By law, saving bonds never expire and owners have no deadline to redeem them. It is currently estimated that more than 75 million expired saving bonds issued as early as 1935 remain unredeemed. The total value of these unredeemed savings bonds is approximately $27 billion. The department will conduct a client investigation to determine why individuals do not redeem saving bonds upon maturity, the barriers individuals encounter when attempting to redeem their bonds, and the feasibility to modify rescue methods or developing alternative rescue methods so mitigate, overcome, or avoid such barriers. Intelligence delay. Intelligence officials' delay in reporting on foreign interference provokes anger. Politicization of intelligence is detrimental to the country's democracy, as has long-term negative implications, former government and intelligence community officials said. John Ratcliffe, Director of National Intelligence, was notified by career intelligence officers on December 16th that the intelligence community was unable to meet the December 18 deadline established by an executive order to report foreign threats in the United States elections. They said the delay was due to the intelligence community receiving important new information and the fact that various agencies have not finished coordinating the outcome. I think that's dishonesty on the part of the bureaucrats within the intelligence community, said Bart Marquardt, the Bush administration's former deputy and the Secretary of Energy for Politics and International Affairs. I never heard of the intelligence community telling a president or even an assistant deputy secretary that we don't have enough information to answer their question. They would say, we don't have complete information, but here is our report based on the information we have at this time. Obviously. Marquardt said the only conclusion he comes to is that the intelligence community is purposefully obstructing assessments and reports on foreign interference in this year's election for political reasons. They are holding it back. They are delaying it. So this report cannot form the basis of an appeal to the Supreme Court or to the state legislature or to Congress to ignore the electoral college results as reported by the state in dispute, he said. Misunderstood. The president tweets, martial law equals fake news, because he knows the law of insurrection is not martial law. This comes on the heels of increasing calls from General Michael Flynn, Attorney Lynn Wood, Attorney Sidney Powell, and many others were calling on the president to deploy the armed force in a limited role to confiscate ballots and voting machines in undecided states. Most citizens incorrectly equate the law of insurrection with martial law. Martial law describes a scenario in which the Constitution is suspended, elected officials are no longer in charge, and society is run by military generals. The insurrection law refers to the law passed by Congress and ratified by the President in 1807. It is fully constitutional and legal, and has been invoked at least 21 times by previous presidents, all with nothing resembling to the martial law. The President can invoke the insurrection law, deploy military troops to secure the ballots and voting machines, and then take those troops out onto the streets, and all without invoking martial law of any kind. Brief, short news. Better said. Millions of citizens will march in Washington D.C. on January 6th, and the president has released an incredible promotional video that draws the battle lines against the globalist forces trying to bring down the West and the world. Panic in London. Tens of thousands flee for a new mutation of the supposed pathogen. With more than 60 million Britons now forced to stay home when the lockdown went into effect on Sunday, tens of thousands of Londoners rushed out the capital on Saturday night. The world closes the door on the UK. Dozens of countries closed their borders to the UK on Monday, fearing a new strain, intensifying global panic, causing travel chaos and increasing the possibility of food shortages in British territory a few days before the consummation of the Brexit. British citizens moved to Spain and Portugal before Brexit. Welcome to all of them. The UK formally left the European Union on January 31st after the 2016 Brexit referendum, but has since been in a period of transition in which the rules on freedom of movement and trade have remained unchanged. That period ends on December 31st. 14 European countries, including Portugal and Spain, will grant Britons arriving before December 31st the right to stay. The tourism crisis makes it cheaper to live in some hotels than to rent a flat. The WHO ensures that there is no evidence that the new strain is more deadly. The Director General of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has reported this Monday that for now there is no evidence to show that the new strain detected in the UK is more deadly or causes more serious disease. Tokyo gives the green light to record military spending, stealth fighters and long-range missiles. The Japanese government has pushed for an increase in military spending to respond to a security environment that is described as increasingly tough, while facing higher public debt on the world relative to GDP and is struggling to reverse the economic recession caused by the health crisis. Spain urgently summons the Moroccan ambassador. The Spanish government has urgently summoned the Moroccan ambassador in Madrid and has asked her for clarification on the statement of the president of the executive of Rabat, Saadettin Othmani, on the cities of Ceuta and Melilla, whose sovereignty is claimed by the Maghreb country. The Air Force says goodbye to its C-130 Hercules after almost 5 decades of service. The aircraft is replaced by the A-400M. The remaining units were put up for sale and have been bought by Peru, Uruguay, and a private company. The first unit arrived in Spain on December 18, 1973. Their destination was the Zaragoza Air Base, where they have remained for 47 years and 4 days. The IMF announces the immediate delivery of $2,000 million to Ecuador. The disbursement of $2,000 million to Ecuador has been possible after the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund concluded the first review of the agreement on the expanded survey for the American country. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, friends.